When you're ready to paint miniatures, one of the very first things you're going to have to do is put them together, and that means glue. But there's quite a few different types of adhesives out there that can be a bit, confusing for new people to the hobby, and I just wanted to bring some clarity to this sticky subject. So let's get stuck in. There won't be any more glue puns, I swear. So guys, real quick, I just want to set this up by saying there are a lot of different adhesives out there. There are putties, there are, several different brands of glues, there's types of glues, and what I want to just make this video about is kind of like the basic glues you're going to use for almost 99% of your hobby. There's a certain kind of glue you're going to want to use for GW sprue miniatures, there's a certain kind of glue you're going to want to use for board game miniatures. I'm going to just touch on a few of those and a few different brands and what to expect from those glues and what the best uses of them. So let's get going. Alright guys, so I've got 3 different types of glue here, and then I've got a bonus type I'm going to talk about at the end because it's only for some very specific things. The first glue that you're going to get acquainted with as you're learning to hobby is super glue. Now, I use Gorilla brand super glue. It's just a basic, it's not a gel or anything like that, but they do sell it. So any kind of super glue gel, super glue thick, super glue thin, all of those will work fine. They just have different, viscosity and different properties, and some run more than others and stuff like that. You're going to use this for, board game minis, metal minis, models that we've mentioned that don't work well with the plastic cements that I'll talk about in a sec. So for example, the Star Wars Legion models work best with super glue. I actually also use it if I'm gluing down tufts or base materials, even sand. I actually use super glue. I don't use PVA because I find that, or even rocks and things like that, I just prefer the grip and the solidity of the super glue when it comes to stuff like that. So you're going to use it for that. You're going to use it for the majority of your hobby activities, and it's easy to find, and I don't know how to pronounce the scientific name for it, cyanocrylate or whatever. It has a name. You can Google it. It's out there. It's not on this bottle for some reason. But yeah, so that's an easy one. The next kind, this is possibly a very old package. I'm not sure if they come this way anymore. It's called Pva Glue. And this is a Games Workshop version, and it's just, if you can see, let me squeeze it out a bit if I can. Wow, there's not much in this. Come on, there you go. It's white glue. It's white glue that is water-based, easy to clean up, takes a long time to dry. You can get Elmer's brand, you can get Lepage brand, whatever. White glue is white glue. Probably some cheaper brands don't work as good as others, but there you have it. This, personally, like some people use this to apply sand to their bases and stuff like that. I just don't think it's, resilient enough, let's put it. That's why I suggest super glue for that. What I do use this for mostly is static grass, and the reason is the super glue and static grass don't get along that well because it sort of grabs the grass too much, and when you try to blow it to make it straight and things like that, I don't know, I don't get a great result. Whereas because this is a slower drying glue, I can work with the static grass to help make it stand up a little bit. And I don't actually use static grass a lot, but when I do, that's what I use this for. I don't use this for much of anything else. You can, and I'm sure there's other uses for it, but if I had to, I could easily live without this stuff and just use super glue most of the time. The third kind of glue is plastic cement, and these are all examples of that, okay? So sometimes they're called plastic glue, that's the Army Painter. Sometimes they're called poly cement by Humbrol, and in this version it actually comes in a needle, which is currently not showing, maybe stuck in the cap or something. But anyway, you apply it through a very thin needle. And Tamiya Cement, which I use this the most. What's nice about this one is it comes with an actual built-in brush applicator, which is cool. This is my favorite brand for whatever reason, and I go through a lot of it. Ooh, and it's poisonous, so don't drink it. These are all the same stuff. They work to, well, I'll show you. They're for models that come like this, on a sprue. It can be Games Workshop, it can be Warlord Bolt Action, it can be, there's any scale model kits that come like this. Anything that comes on a sprue like this where you have to clip the models off to assemble them, you can use this to assemble those. And this is so here's the thing. This is the only that is the only kind of plastic you use this for. So like I said, it won't, even though this is technically a plastic mini, it does not work on this kind because it's a certain kind of a blend or PVC or something like that. So these only really work on the plastic that comes on sprues, but they work awesome on that. So for example, you can use super glue to assemble those models that come on sprues, of course, because you can use super glue to pretty much assemble anything. But this is better, and the reason this is better is what it does is it melts the plastic just a bit and it fuses the joint together so that the plastic is literally like, melded into itself and makes a super strong bond. It doesn't do that, it does that fast enough to be pleasant that when you're assembling it, each piece goes on and stays on very quickly. And you can move it around a little bit or reposition stuff as necessary before it fully cures, so that's also nice. The downside could be that if you get some of this on other parts of the model you didn't want to, you can cause a bit of melting of details, or because it is literally melting the plastic. So go slow, take your time, make sure you put it on the right spot, and then hold the pieces together, and they go together. They make assembling plastic models that come on sprues a real pleasure. Super glue, again, you can use it and it will work pretty well, but it's not, why not use the stuff that's like custom, tailor-made for that type of plastic, in my opinion. So there you have it. Use those for sprues and nothing else. Now, the last glue I wanted to mention is wood glue, and I'm mentioning this for MDF scenery, which is very popular these days. You can get it from a lot like Foreground, Sarissa Precision, there's probably more that I'm forgetting, Bandua War Games, all kinds of different terrain that comes in MDF, and you can use white glue for that. And in theory, again, you can use super glue because super glue works on almost anything. But I really like this. It forms a nice strong bond. It's Carpenter's Wood Glue Pro. I buy exactly this stuff. Forms a really strong bond. It dries quick enough, but not so quick that you haven't got time to sort of set the pieces where you need them to be and stuff like that. Again, cleans up with water, so it's not too messy or whatever, not hard to clean up from it. Unlike super glue, where I almost guaranteed get this stuff on my fingers every frickin' time, and it's unpleasant to try and get off. Yes, I know there's things like acetone and whatnot that you can use, but I always get this on my fingers and I hate it. So if I could do without super glue, I would. But anyway, great for MDF models. Not strictly necessary if you want to use white glue or some other glue you're happy with, but I just wanted to recommend that kind. And that's it. So, and honestly, if you're starting out, if you're getting into GW models, pick a brand of plastic glue or cement and use that on your sprue models to make your assembly life a little easier. If you're working with metal models or, like I said, plastics that don't come on a sprue, you can get super glue, and you could probably do most of your hobbying with these two, or, a cement and a super glue. And then if you want, you can add in PVA for your basing. That's it. In the comments, why don't you let me know what you're using for different types of hobby glues and adhesives, or if you have questions about any of this stuff, you can also ask me. Sorry, the focus is going in and out. I just can't win. If you have questions about any of these things, let me know. If this was useful to you, consider liking and subscribing and sharing the video, and I will see you next time.